The Denver real estate market is booming and you want to be a part of that action. But with so many neighborhoods to choose from, how do you know where to invest your time and money? So in this video, I'm diving into the top 3 zip codes within the city of Denver that is worth your time and money. So here's the twist to all the data. We're gonna be talking about the up and coming neighborhoods within the city of Denver. That way you get the biggest bang for your buck going forward. I ranked the best zip codes in the city of Denver based on 4 metrics: rental demand, population growth, development in the area, and also property appreciation rates. And you'll want to stick around to the very end of the video so that you know what the top 3 zip codes are based on those 4 different metrics. So I've dedicated a lot of time and effort into getting this data just for you, and it is all happening within this video. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the first metric that we gotta go over is the property appreciation rates over the years within the city of Denver. And we don't want just the neighborhoods that are already at a really high price. We want to see something that's a little bit more affordable and is on the path of progress to be even more worth your time and investment. So starting off with the neighborhoods that had a median home price of $600,000 or less, because as of right now in October or November of 2024, the median home price within the greater Metro Denver area is about $600,000. So I put all the zip codes in one column and I had the median home price in another column for each of those zip codes. After that, I ranked all of the zip codes based on how low the prices were, like the median home price from lowest to highest, and ranked them 1 through 32, I believe. So with the median home prices, I also combined it with the appreciation rate over the course of 10 years and seeing what that rate has been over time. And with that, having a median home price under $600K and the highest year-over-year appreciation, we come to these couple of zip codes. The 2 zip codes that had the highest year-over-year appreciation is 80236 and 80218. Zip code 80236 had the highest appreciation year-over-year with a value of 15.2%. And it had a median home price of $533,000. And this general area is over in the Sherwood and Inglewood area, just north of the Bomar area. And zip code 80218 had the second best appreciation over time, year over year, with 14.6%. And in that zip code, the median home price was about $556,000. And this area is just west of the Botanic Gardens and east of the Cap Hill area. And if you were curious, the worst performing zip code of the 30 that I compiled is actually 80230. Zip code 80230 had a median home price of $735,000 and a hit on the appreciation of minus 27.1%. And this was in the Laurie area, just west of the 225, close to the Aurora area and the Glendale area as well. So yeah, if you're not looking for that appreciation, then, I guess you should go invest there. And now category number 2, but before I get into that, if you are enjoying this kind of data-driven information, make sure you go like and subscribe to the video and comment down below what you actually really enjoyed and maybe what surprised you with all the information and all the zip codes that I'm providing for you. The more feedback I get, the more I can make videos like what you guys want. And I wanna make sure that this is very valuable and educational, and this is all something that I do for you. So let me know and help me help you, right? Okay, so number 2, the second category that we have to go over is the rental demand and income potential. So next, along with the zip codes, I put in a new column that had to go check out the median rent income for each of these zip codes. And this data is actually kind of tough to go through or at least find, because when I was going through Zillow, it had some really good information as far as like rental demand and how much rent, like the median rent costs are for each zip code, but it wasn't complete. There were certain zip codes that were actually very important that Zillow just did not have that kind of information. So I went to a different source that was a little bit more complete, actually completely complete, if that makes sense. So I went to the website of SAFMR, or Small Area Fair Market Rent, to get all the information going from 2023 and even into the potential future of 2025 and what that might look like. So this data set is nationwide, and I went through all of the zip codes to make sure that it was just City of Denver specific, and from there I took the 2023, 2024, and 2025 small area fair market values and compiled them and saw what the rate is or has been going into 2025. So to be clear, this data set and why we're anticipating 2025 numbers in each of these zip codes is because this is what the government is giving like as an estimate for these median prices within each zip code so that they can price appropriately these Section 8 housing. So what I mean by that is that they give the 2-bedroom median rent price for each of the zip codes, and I compiled that into one place, and that is what the government is willing to give on that median rent for Section 8 housing. But to be even more clear, I'm not seeing too much of a difference going from the Section 8 allowance from the government and what actual rents are within those zip codes. And there are small area fair market rents for 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and I believe even 4-bedroom places, but I stuck to the 2-bedroom rents because I'm seeing that with a lot of my clients. They usually have 2-bed, 1-bath areas in the basements, and I feel like it's a lot more plentiful than, let's say, 3 or 4-bedroom places within each of those zip codes. So with all of that compiled, what has seen the biggest rate of change, the biggest rent growth going from 2023 to 24, and in the future 25 of what is to be proposed? So first off, we're gonna go into the zip codes that had the biggest rate change from 2023 to 2024, and then I'll go from 24 to 25. So the number one winner is 80204. That zip code had a $430 increase in rent for 2-bedroom places from 2023 to 2024. In that zip code, the SAFMR was 1660, and in 2024, the FMR was $2,090 per month. And that 80204 zip code is just west of the 25, but also hovering around the 70 area. I think the very southern tip is that 6 freeway going up to that Meow Wolf area in the West Colfax area. And the zip code with the lowest rent increase from 2023 to 2024 was actually 80205. The rent only increased about $140 per month within that zip code. And that zip code 80205 is in the North Denver, North City Park area. What was interesting too is that all of the 2023 to 2024 rents were increasing per zip code. So there was no decrease based on the SAFMR from 2023 to 2024. And the average increase for each of those zip codes was actually $319 per month increase for rent. But I cannot say the same going from the 2024 to the anticipated 2025 rent numbers. So now let's see the biggest growth for 2-bedroom rents going into the 2025 area, and the zip code that won with the biggest increase year over year is 80219 with an increase of $310 per month. And in that zip code, the north side is about the Barnum area and the south side is about the Harvey Park area. On average, the 2024 to 2025 rents were pretty stagnant at about -$6 per month of rent, I guess, decrease going into the 25 year. And as a reminder, this is in no way a prediction for what rents will be going into 2025, but it is pretty interesting to see what the government is willing to subsidize going into the year of 2025, especially with Section 8 housing and the small area fair market rents. On to number 3, we're gonna go into the development and infrastructure projects going into 2024, 2025, what is being proposed, what is under construction, and what is being completed within the city of Denver. There was a ton of resources for this and it was so hard to consolidate all this information, so I'm gonna give you a couple of really good places for you to do your own research, but also just compile it and do as much as I can here on this video so that you're prepared as well. Blueprint Denver has a really cool web map where it shows the growth strategy map and also the future places map, where a lot of the dark orange polygons within that map shows where things are under construction or are proposed to be, which kind of shows you what the up and coming neighborhoods are within the city of Denver. The future places map on Blueprint Denver shows a lot of development in the Glendale area, so keep your eye on that. What was also interesting is that the future places and the growth strategy maps showed a lot of development on Colfax Road, and I dug a little bit deeper on why that is the case. And many Denverites know that East Colfax is not the most attractive part of Denver, and it looks like the city of Denver completely agrees and wants to change that sentiment. So the Federal Transit Administration, the FTA, awarded the city of Denver $150 million to revitalize East Colfax and have a rapid transit system for buses and public transit to go along East Colfax. Many of my clients that invested in the North Aurora area or closer to the Anschutz Medical Campus are stoked for this project. Although it will take some time for it to be completed, it should be done around Q4 of 2027. Another great resource for new developments happening is the Denver Infill blog. It is an awesome website, and what's cool about it is that it feels kind of informal and it feels like it's very crowd driven. So you gotta go check it out, Denver Infill blog, and it shows a lot of what is under construction, what is proposed to be in construction, and what has been already completed. There is a ton of information on these developments within the Denver Infill blog, like whether it's LEED certified or the construction of new lofts or any sort of civic building as well, like the Buell Public Media Center. So I checked out the map of the proposed, under construction, and also already completed projects within the city of Denver, and holy crap, my work was cut out for me. I've dedicated so much time to just count every single project, but what I wanted to provide for you is not the completed projects that were already completed, right? We're looking for the up and coming places and up and coming neighborhoods within the city of Denver. So I took all the larger numbers of under construction and proposed construction into a heavier weight within this scale. The first thing I'm gonna go over is the top 3 zip codes with the most under construction, proposed, and already developed projects within the city of Denver, and it were these 3 zip codes. At number 1 was zip code 80202 with 82 projects, 80205 with 55 projects, and 80211 with 41 projects. And like I said, we're not too interested in the completed projects. So what I did was go through the under construction or proposed construction of those zip codes within the Denver Infill blog. So let's see the zip codes with the most proposed and under construction projects. And they are 80202 with 29, 80205 with 24, and 80211 with 11. So what do we do with all these numbers, right? I wanted to see what's the most up and coming zip code with the under construction and the proposed projects within the city of Denver, and had that be divided by the total amount of completed, under construction, and proposed projects. And finally, the zip code with the best metrics for the most developments proposed to be happening in that area is actually 80206, which is the Congress Park and Cherry Creek neighborhoods. They have the most under construction and proposed construction projects happening within that zip code. Woo, oh my gosh, that was such a struggle compiling all that information. I hope you can appreciate that. There's one more section I want to go over, and that is number 4. It is population growth, and that is super important going into knowing where people are going and where they are renting. So with the population growth, I'm going to be looking over the numbers going from each zip code from 2000 to 2010 and then finally to 2022. Taken from citydata.com, we're just looking for plain old influx of people coming into the city or coming into the zip code and seeing where that stands. I'm not going to look at, let's say, how educated the people are or whether they come from out of the country or out of the states. Nothing like that. It's just population growth. So the 3 zip codes that had the highest influx of population going from 2000 to 2022 were these zip codes: At number 1 is zip code 80249 with a growth of 80% over 22 years. At number 2, zip code 80230 had an influx of 79.9% of population growth. And at number 3, zip code 80202 with a 76.3% population growth. Okay, so wrapping it all up here, right? We've seen the best of the best per category, but we gotta combine it all into seeing what are the top 3 zip codes that are the up and coming based on rental demand, home appreciation, development happening within the area, and also population growth. In third place, ranking from all of the 4 metrics that I just mentioned throughout this video, is zip code 80212. And that area is the Regis, Berkeley, and a little bit of the Sloan's Lake area. Very fantastic piece of land. I love hanging out over there with the restaurants and the cool places over there. Definitely go check it out for yourself. And ranking at number 2 from all 4 of those categories that I just mentioned is 80203, which is around the Cap Hill and Alamo Placito area. And at number 1, drum roll please, this is the top zip code to invest in for up and coming neighborhoods. It is zip code 80206 in Congress Park and the Cherry Creek area. Great job to all the zip codes in the study. I appreciate all the data that was on the internet. A lot of compilation just had to happen just to make this video happen, and lots of time and love went into this to make sure that you're investing into the right areas based on what is to come within the city of Denver. And if you agree with this information, let me know or put it in the comments down below or even call me. All that information is in the description below. If you have any sort of insights or any other metrics you want to see, please let me know, and I can even give you a copy of this Excel sheet because I'm looking at it right here just beyond the camera, and that could be in your possession so that you can invest wisely into the city of Denver area. That being said, make sure you like and subscribe if you really like this video. I put a lot of time, I feel like I said that a whole bunch of times now, but I enjoyed doing this for y'all, and I want to make sure that I'm providing enough and more information than you ever thought was possible. Please let me know, and I look forward to working for you as your real estate agent potentially. Like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.